following program is an exclusive Disruption Networks production.
So you just bought your dream home, and now it's time to move. Let's face it, nobody likes to move. All the packing, unpacking, lifting, upstairs, downstairs, and broken everything, including your back. Let the professionals at EJA Moving Company take all the stress and pain out of your move. Competitively priced moving, relocation services, office moves, and complete packing and unpacking services. They work with everybody to make it simple and easy for you to move and relocate. Call EJA Moving Company at 315-335-0516. When it's time to relocate, have EJA Moving do all the work for you. Hit them up online, ejamoving.com.
Hey, Disruption Network. This is Mike Sacco, the general manager at Nye Volkswagen of Rome. If you don't know me by name, it's only because you have not received the best deal. There's only one reason to leave Utica, and that's to come see me in Rome and get the best deal on your next new, pre-owned, or certified VW. Mention that you heard this ad from Disruption Network and receive $250 off your next vehicle purchase. You'll know why our customers say, I love my Nye VW. Come see us at 5865 Rome Taberg Road in Rome, or visit us online at nyvwofrome.com.
Want to know what's going on at the D? Hit up DisruptionNetwork.net and check out our events calendar, brought to you by the Events Co. Find out about upcoming guests, special events, concerts, show schedules, community activities, and more. Get connected at DisruptionNetwork.net.
Welcome to EC Radio Podcast. We would like to thank all of our sponsors for joining the Disruption team, and we hope that you will support all of our sponsors. And of course, we appreciate you listening to this program.
Attention listeners, the host of this show and the majority of his guests are not responsible for the correct pronunciation of words, vowel dropping, reduction of sentences, loud vocal inflections, passionate conversations, excessive talking with their hands, and several undefined words. All these terms are exempt for the fact that we are located in the upstate New York region known as Utica, New York. Furthermore, the views expressed by our guests are not those of Disruption Network and their sponsors. Have an invigorating day.
Disruption Networks.
What's cracking, people of Central New York? How are you? Are you all shoveled out? Are you all thawed out? Are you nice and warm? I hope you're warm. I hope you're nice and warm, sitting on your couch or at your desk or on your bed watching this right now. That's what I'm hoping right now. Greetings and salutations. It's me, Z. You can follow along on all Disruption Network social media platforms. And it's wrapped up into a nice podcast of love that you can view and listen to at your discretion, at your leisure at DisruptionNetwork.net. Go over to our YouTube page right now, too, and click subscribe. We're looking to get those subscriptions up there on our YouTube page. Before we get into anything, much love to Utica Coffee. Wake the hell up, Utica. WakeTheHellUp.com. You can check out all their great coffee and all their cool merchandise, too, at WakeTheHellUp.com. Also, much love to EJA Moving Services, Utica Hemp Co. Go visit them, all 4 locations, or visit them online at uticahempco.com. And Nye Volkswagen in Rome. Big love to my boys over at Nye Volkswagen in Rome. If you go into Nye Volkswagen and if you're interested in buying yourself a brand new Volkswagen, which I highly recommend, save yourself on some gas and some money, too, because they're pretty affordable. Go in there, mention you listen to Disruption Network on a daily basis, or maybe you listen to us once a month. It doesn't matter. If you go in there and tell them that you listen to us, they're going to give you a $250 discount on your vehicle purchase. Pretty cool, just by knowing me. Huh. I got a promo code, yo. Vince Sperrazza's in the house with me today, my former teacher. How about that? We can reconnect. I love this. I love when we can reconnect and just hang out, and used to come and hang out with me at the EC back in the day, and now here you are hanging out on my podcast. So it's good to see you.
Good to see you, too. Thanks for inviting me for today.
The drumming legend continues. No, you told me before we went on that you retired from drumming.
No, I didn't retire,
no, you didn't retire
from drumming, from rock music.
Okay, rock.
Still in the jazz band and jazz big band and so on. Tuesday night big band.
Tuesday night big band?
Yeah.
What's the name of the big band?
The Tuesday night big band.
Oh, so that's the name of it. I'm thinking that's the day you go practice.
That's the day we play. It's Tuesday night.
That's it.
Yeah.
What if you guys played on Thursday? Would you change the name?
No, we have played a rare Thursday or Friday.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, it's 14-piece big band.
Wow. 14-piece, yeah. And is it like percussion too, or are you the only drummer?
Oh, no, I'm the only drummer.
You're the only drummer?
It's standard classic big band with 5 saxophones, 6 brass, piano, bass, and drums.
Oh, cool. Do you
Playing all the old charts, the Ellington, Basie, Glenn Miller, that stuff.
all the classics?
Yeah.
Oh, the squinty-eyed jazz stuff.
You bet.
I love that stuff. It's good Sunday morning music. You know, you clean the house to some good jazz and just kind of hang out on a Sunday, and I don't. That's my thing to do. But anyways, great to see you. Do you got any gigs coming up with the Tuesday night jazz?
Tuesday night we'll start up again in June, and we usually play June, July, and August.
Okay.
Play in some of the parks from New Hartford, New York Mills, and then we play at places like the Masonic Home and senior centers and places like that.
Oh, right on. Very cool. So that's smart. You take the winter off, though.
Oh, yeah.
Who wants to lug their stuff in the winter, right?
Right.
Especially after a day like yesterday.
And who wants to play outside in the winter?
I don't know. I've done it. I'm sure you've done it before.
Oh, yeah.
Many, many times.
When I was younger. A lot younger.
Right. But you learn from those gigs, right?
That's right.
You learn from those, and you learn to like actually toughen up because it's cold out there, right?
Yeah.
And then you probably how to play with like gloves on and stuff like that.
Oh, all that. Yeah.
All that. Right. So the reason why you're here too, you're talking about the Adirondack Express, the Adirondack Railroad,
Adirondack Scenic Railroad.
Adirondack Scenic Railroad, and the Polar Express is in action right now, right?
Right.
It's pretty
right.
active.
Polar Express train started the middle of November, the weekend before Thanksgiving, and have been running with very few exceptions. Thursday, we skipped obviously for Thanksgiving, but Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, on those there is a 4:30 train and a 7 o'clock train. And it follows the Polar Express book and goes up to the North Pole.
I love what you guys do with the Polar Express. People come in their pajamas or they come dressed up like Santa or some elves. And, it's a very, people get really involved with the Polar Express. It's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's amazing to see maybe 600 people in Union Station, half of them in pajamas, some families wearing all the same pattern pajamas. And they're all ready. The kids are so excited, and especially when they learn that they're actually going to see Santa on the train in the car with them is a huge deal.
Do you have a weekly get-up that you get dressed up in?
When I work in the station, I volunteer as a station host, usually 2 days out of the days that we're running. And I wear black pants, white shirt, a Christmas tie, and a black vest with all the ID stuff on it.
I got you.
And and then I'm the answer man on the floor in the station.
So you're not dressed up like Rudolph?
No, I don't dress up like Rudolph. And I'm everything from where do we go for tickets to where are the restrooms, when are we going to load the train, where do we board the train, to if I see someone with a cane, I will ask them if they would prefer to use the elevator rather than go up all the way to the stairs to go across the bridge and down to our tracks. And they're thrilled that people even ask them that. And then I point them to the elevator and so on. So it's very busy. And there are other folks that do that same job on other nights that I'm not there.
How many volunteers do you have over there at the railroad?
Roughly 100.
Wow.
And
that many?
Yes, because the engineers and conductors on the trains are volunteers, as well as the car hosts and car staff. And then we have volunteers that help out in a cafe car. We have volunteers that help out in the gift shop and so on. So there's a huge number of volunteers, so hopefully we get enough for every night to run. And it works.
Are you guys actively looking for more volunteers?
We are absolutely actively looking for more volunteers. A lot of the volunteers, we have a whole list of volunteer roles from besides the train management, the train crew, and those are, of course, highly trained positions. It may take 3 to 4 years to get to a point where you can drive a train if you don't have any prior experience. Sometimes we get people that have retired from Amtrak and CSX, and then they go through a fairly short training, and they go, But our volunteers that do that have never done that before have an extensive training, and then they have to pass the same tests and certification as Amtrak and CSX engineers and conductors have to pass.
How long have you been volunteering over there?
This is my 8th year.
8th year?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. And you must enjoy it. I mean, you're here, aren't you?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely, I enjoy it.
Yeah. So you've been retired for a bunch of years from teaching, which
Yes.
you were my old teacher
About
back in the day.
13 years, yeah.
About 13 years. And then you took some time off, and then over here onto the Adirondack Scenic Railroad. And God, it must be an enjoyable experience for you.
It is. It's a lot of fun. I like the volunteers that I work with, and I like the staff and the other members of the board of directors. So that makes it, a lot of fun and good, interesting people to work with.
Yeah. And there's multiple trains, too, that you're doing, not just Polar Express, but I know of, like, beer and wine carts, and then you do the fall foliage.
Fall foliage, beer and wine.
Beer and wine.
We have the layover trains to Old Forge.
The Loomis Gang.
We don't do the Loomis Gang anymore.
Okay.
Problem was horses. Insurance for horses and sky high. So
okay, makes sense.
Yeah. So we don't do the Loomis Gang, but we have in the summer for the kids, we have princess and superhero trains. We have a haunted history train.
Oh, cool.
So we have a bunch of different trains in the season. And now when we get to we start in November, and it's just Polar Express from now till the night before Christmas Eve, and then we all collapse and relax for a couple months before we start actually in January and February. We start planning for the following season.
Right on. Now, would you be open to having like private party trains too? Do you also take private parties?
We do charters, yes. And for those, if anybody's interested in charters, there are links on our website. Our website is AdirondackRR.com. And the phone number to call for, even if you want to charter in the spring or summer, at least you can call now and get some rates and get some information. The phone number is 315-724-0700. Once more, 315-724-0700. You can call and charter a car, charter a train, and so on. We've done a lot of those. We've even had wedding charters.
Oh, cool. Right on.
So
I'm thinking disruption train.
Oh, sure.
Huh?
Oh, yeah.
Disrupt the railroads.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
Now, would you guys be open to doing something without the horses, doing some sort of similar modification to a Loomis Gang train without the horses?
I don't know.
Yeah.
That would be up to our staff that, we have paid office staff and paid administration staff, and they're the ones that would be making those decisions.
Okay.
And I think they're open to a lot of different things that as long as they can fit in to our rail schedule and the kinds of things that we can do and where the train goes. Right now, our tracks go from Utica up as far as Big Moose.
That's a good hike.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And what's the capacity of the whole train, like for the Polar Express?
For the Polar Express, we can say, for example, Thursday night, there can be 600 people on one Polar Express train.
How many carts is that?
There are 10 passenger cars and 2 staff cars.
Okay.
So that's 12 cars being pulled up all the way to the North Pole, which is cleverly disguised as the village of Holland Patent.
That's a good-sized train. That's a good-sized party, too.
Oh, yeah.
It is a good-sized party. But, yeah, I'm thinking down the road we should collaborate a little bit, do a disruption train, and throw a little rock and roll party on there. And you're open to doing that, right? You have bands on the
of course.
train all the time, yeah?
Beer and wine, we have bands on.
Mm-hmm.
And, we have the liquor license for beer and wine for the bar car and the cafe car.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yes, we're definitely open to doing those kind of charters. And just call, and we can get that set up.
Awesome. And we give the number again?
315-724-0700. I do want to caution that this is polar season. The phones are very, very busy. But You can call anytime, January, February. We have staff to answer the phones and to set up this kind of thing.
Now, do you do a first come, first serve with Polar Express, or do you have to make reservations in advance?
Oh, people call. What happens is that we start April 1st, midnight, April 1st, Polar Express booking starts.
Wow.
And they start online.
Wow. So you're booking 8 months out almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, this 7 months out. That's a lot.
Right now, if you want to get on a train now, first class, which we call the Cocoa class for Polar Express, is entirely sold out for the season.
Mm-hmm.
There are openings in the coach class. The difference is in the coach class, you're sitting in regular coach seats. They are turned so that, two face two and so on, but there's no tables in the middle. And you get your hot chocolate in a cup and a cookie.
You get marshmallows?
And no, we don't serve marshmallows.
Come on, man.
In the Cocoa class, the first class, the cars are the ones with tables. So the seats face 2 and 2. There's a table in the middle. You get a souvenir Polar Express mug that's dated for the year. Your hot chocolate that comes in a paper cup fits inside that. So we don't have to worry about the kid ruining the mug and everything right on the first trip. And you get a really nice cookie and snack, and it's special. You have Santa in the train. Otherwise, the experience is pretty much the same. We leave Union Station, and actually a skit starts on a small stage in Union Station about a half an hour, 15 minutes maybe, before we start boarding. And there, some of the cast members will sing, and you see the whole cast, and then you hear from the conductor, not the actual train conductor, but the actor conductor. And the conductor makes a little speech and does something with the hero boy, and then they get everybody all aboard and onto the train. Once the train gets moving, the reading of the Polar Express book comes through the PA system in each car, and some of the scenes are acted out with the hero boy, with the know-it-all kid, with the chefs. They come through and do a song and dance, and that keeps everybody busy and occupied till we get to the North Pole. At the North Pole, the train slows down and goes very slowly by the North Pole, and they can see Santa and the sleigh and the elf houses and all that sort of stuff. And then the train stops for a very short time. No one gets off, but Santa gets on. And then as the train makes its way back to Utica, Santa is able to visit with the families and get a photo all the way back to Utica. And the children all get a visit with Santa between the North Pole and returning to Union Station in Utica.
How cool is that Santa gets to hang out when he's so busy right now? He gets to come and hang out on the Adirondack Scenic Railroad.
The entire trip takes about a little bit less than an hour and a half.
Oh, cool.
From Union Station up to the North Pole and back.
Very cool. How big is the cast?
There's about a dozen cast members. Many of them are high school and middle school students who are very, very interested in theater. We do have a few adult cast members, but not many. Usually the conductor is an adult. Mm-hmm. And that's it. It's great. And Sheena Piersma is the director of passenger services for the Adirondack Scenic Rail. She is a staff member, and she is the director of the actors on the train, and she does a fantastic job.
Awesome. Very cool. I'm interested in the history of the Adirondack Scenic Railroad. When did that all get started?
Okay, wow. It goes back. The rails themselves were put down in the late 1800s. Uh-huh. Okay? The guy's name is... Dr. Webb, Dr. William Seward Webb. And his wife was the daughter of Cornelius Vanderbilt, the internationally known rail magnate.
Wow.
So he had a camp up in the Adirondacks, and he wanted to be able to get there easily, meaning by rail, rather than through stagecoach and boat and so on. So in 18 months, they built a railroad from Herkimer, Utica, up and around and up to, actually, there were branches that went up into Canada, Canton, and so on. And it's quite a complicated story, but it was done in the early 1900s. So there was an Adirondack railroad that ran at for the Olympics, when the Olympics were in Placid in 80, and that was very temporary. And then in 1992, some people got together and said, let's try to start some centennial celebration of the railroad, because Dr. Webb started his work on the railroad in 1892. So what happened was they did just a short run from the Thandera station south and back up. And that just grew and grew and grew. By the time we got to 04 was the Adirondack Scenic Rail's first Polar Express
04?
From Utica up to Holland Patent.
Wow, so it's been going 15 years strong.
Yeah. And the Polar in those days was 2 coach cars and a staff car, and that was it. So we're talking maybe 120 people on a train. Now we're at about 600.
Amazing how it's grown.
Yeah.
Amazing. What was happening before all that? Before 92, and were you guys doing just regular scenic trips?
No,
or
before 92.
You said 92 is when...
92 was when Adirondack Scenic Rail started.
Okay, so that's when it started. What was going on prior to that? Just regular transportation?
There was some transportation. I've met with, to use a not such a good word, old timers that talked about being in their day. We're talking prior to even World War II, or just after World War II, getting on trains in Old Forge and so on, and coming to Utica for the day, spending a day shopping, getting back on the train, going back home. That ended in the late 50s, early 60s, and some freight ran for a while, and then kind of the freight kind of petered out too.
Yeah.
So they were almost abandoned for a while, but then as Adirondack Rail got going, then they started cleaning the tracks and maintaining them and going for one permit after another to keep going. And that's how we got to where we are today.
What's the process of getting a track going again?
Well, there's all these standards of the condition of the track.
Okay.
And everything from the ties to the actual steel rails themselves, as well as the spacing, everything. And this is all spelled out by Federal Railway Administration specifications, and they check for that. That's the FRA. And so everything involved with the railroad, whether it's a tourist railroad like ours or whether it's Amtrak, it's all regulated by the FRA. So you've got these massive books of rules and regulations, everything from track maintenance to drug testing of employees and so on. All the way, it's all FRA regulated, and they're very strict.
I can imagine it's a lot of work, because these tracks were laid in, you said, the late 1800s.
Right.
So there's probably a ton of maintenance that goes along with keeping it maintained.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You can only imagine. A lot of work.
I know. I'm glad we have people that know what they're doing that are involved in that.
Have you ever spent the day with them?
No.
With some of the maintenance guys?
My goodness, no.
No.
They're paid staff members, and when you see what they do spending a day, you know why they're paid staff members doing that. Mm-hmm. Sometimes they have culverts that have been jammed full of sticks by beavers, and they got to get in there and get the culvert cleared out. And such a mess.
I can imagine. That's a lot of miles to take care of a maintenance.
Oh, yeah.
So, approximately how many miles?
Boy, 30 some. I'm going to get it wrong, and people are going to pick on me for it. But it's when you think from Utica up to Big Moose. So you're going and see what happens is if you think of the road of Route 12 from Utica going up to Old Forge, you go right up that hill outside of Utica, or Deerfield. You couldn't do that with a locomotive in 1892. It could not make that grade. So that's why the rails swing out west toward Holland Patent and then up.
Because it's flatter?
Because the grade is not as steep, yeah. You can actually, anybody that's been through Barneveld knows that you go through Barneveld after the stoplight and so on. There's a big liquor store on the left, and then there's a railroad bridge that crosses over Route 12.
Yep.
That's our track.
Ah, I know that track.
Yeah.
I know that track. That's so cool. And people could just go up to Old Forge for a day too, right? If they could just hop on the train.
It's a 4-hour layover starting in the summer and going through the leaf season in the fall. Mm-hmm. We have trains mostly on Saturdays and Sundays. Also some Thursdays that have the 4-hour layover. So those trains, you get on at Utica, say 9 in the morning, takes you up leisurely because tourist trains can't go 60 miles an hour.
Right.
Tourist trains go 30 miles an hour or less. So you go up to Old Forge, takes you about 2.5 hours to 3 hours. You get to Old Forge. Then you have a 4-hour layover. And we have shuttle buses that take you around the town.
Oh, cool.
And everything. And you get a sticker that shows that you were on the train, and then you don't pay to get on the shuttle bus. And you can get on the shuttle bus, and they take you different places around the village of Old Forge. And you can have a nice lunch and so on, do some shopping, and then make sure you catch the shuttle bus, get back on the train, and the train takes you back to Utica. You're back here about 6 in the evening.
That sounds like a fun afternoon.
Oh, it is. And then we have a cafe car as well, so you can get something to eat on the train as well as in the village. You have, we have drinks. We have the beer and wine on the cafe car, and so it works. It's a great experience. When I have family and friends from Buffalo come out, they love to do the Old Forge layover train.
It sounds like a great afternoon.
Oh, yeah, it is.
You hang out, nice leisure ride up there, have a couple drinks, eat some food, and then go hang out in Old Forge all day. Who doesn't like to hang out in Old Forge all day?
I know, it's great.
Such a cute little town. I love that town. A lot of fun happening. That's cool. It's cool that you stay so active, man.
Oh, thanks.
No, it is. It's great. I love it. I mean, a lot of people that just retire and they go travel or whatever, you stay active in the community.
Yeah, it's I have to give a lot of credit to my wife because she's very active in libraries, both on the state and local level. So we're both active together.
The shy wife that's sitting in the office right now that doesn't want to be on camera.
That's right.
Much love to Karen. Much love. You miss teaching at all?
Yeah. You know, what I miss is the kids. Is the contact with the young people. Mm-hmm. Now, of course, a lot of our staff at Adirondack Scenic Rail is young. So it's like kind of, but yeah. But I don't miss all of this stuff that goes on in the schools, and I hear about changes in the science curriculum, and I'm going, wow, I'm glad I retired.
Yeah, I can imagine. It probably make you frustrated just of everything that's going on, and like you said, the curriculum, and just it's changed so much. And now you got to worry about active shooters and all the negative stuff that goes on, and schools being on lockdown, and it's just such a different world that we're living in as in comparison to when I was in school and you were my teacher. Right?
That was a long time ago. It seems like it.
Take it easy. It was just yesterday. What are you talking about?
Some days it seems like it was just yesterday.
Right. Where does the time go?
I know.
Where does the time go? Is that the most important thing you've learned in all your years? Is like time's like the most important factor.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. You spend your time with your family and you spend your time keeping busy, and you don't sit around and let the moss grow, Well,
you stay active, though, and you keep your chops up going, too, on the drum kit, huh?
Oh, thank you.
You got it.
It's nice to have. Basically, I'm still taking lessons.
Are you?
Yeah. Our son is my drum teacher. Mm-hmm. And his level of play is so far above mine.
Oh, he's on a whole nother planet, your son. He's always been on a whole nother planet.
Yeah.
That kid's amazing.
He was in Utica a year ago, January, with one of his groups and played at the other side. Mm-hmm. And he's hoping for a early spring gig at the other side again with one of his groups, and I'll have to keep you informed as to when he's going to be up for that.
Okay. Please do.
Oh, yeah.
On the other side on Genesee Street. You're talking right next to Cafe Domenico.
Yeah.
Cool. On the south side. Definitely keep me. That Call the Cops band he used to be in was like an incredible band. He's laughing because they were so good. That's why he's laughing right now, because they were that damn good that you would just laugh and be like, okay, I quit.
Those guys are all making their living as entertainers.
Are they really?
Right now. Mm-hmm. Ben Shure was the guitarist singer of that band. Mm-hmm. He has a Tony Award-winning Broadway show, one-man show, called The Lion, and just did wonderful. He gigs around the world. He and his wife have written one children's book that is just beautiful, published by Random House. So it's not one of these little self-published little things. It's major. Yeah. And they're doing another one, and he's got song that goes with it. And then Jeff Crayley was playing bass. Mm-hmm. And Jeff is well known in New York as a record producer and bassist. And he plays in a band with, you remember Josh Dion.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So Jeff Crayley and Josh Dion have this band called Paris Monster. It's just the two of them, drums and bass.
Oh, cool.
But Josh Dion sits at the drum set with a keyboard on his floor top. So he plays keyboard, drums, and sings at the same time. And Jeff does bass and all kinds of electronic things. They just finished, I think, a 4-week tour of Europe where they were busy one night after the other. And they're very successful.
That's great. That's great to hear. What a phenomenal band they were, and uber talented, everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody in that band.
I mean, when they get together, and they do once in a while, they laugh about those days because they were in their early 20s then, and now they're at or near 40. So it's funny. I just saw an ad on Facebook where in early January, Vinny, with his group, is playing at a bar in Brooklyn, and Josh is opening for them. So, and one of the times we saw Vinny at a gig in Brooklyn, Josh and Jeff were there in the audience. So they still maintain contact. They still see each other.
That's awesome.
It's amazing.
It's important, too, keep those musical connections, too. I mean, as big as New York City is, the music circle really isn't that big.
No, especially jazz.
Yeah.
The jazz circle is small.
Mm-hmm.
He gets hired now by people he listened to when he was in high school.
Isn't that amazing? You're part of the Drummers Collective down there, too?
The Drummers Collective is a school.
Right.
And he was asked to teach at that school at one point, but the problem is that they require a fixed schedule. Oh. And he can't do that. Mm-hmm. No, I'm not going to be available for 2 weeks. I'm going to be in Europe.
Right.
That doesn't fly with these places that have a fixed schedule.
Well, the Drummers Collective is run by a local guy, too, Anthony Citroniti.
Right,
He's a local guy.
Yeah.
He runs that, and he's doing good stuff. He's got that Meat Hook app out there, too. It's a really cool tool to use for musicians and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. I'm glad to hear your son is still out there active, because I'm telling you, that kid's on his own little level when it comes to playing drums.
I mean,
really,
just can't believe how humbled I am when I get a drum lesson from him.
Yeah, right. You've had a bunch of students, though, come across your classroom, though, drumming-wise, not only in the science world, but also in the drumming world, too. Our boy Nate, we were talking about Nate before we went on air. Nate Keita, Stoneworks Artisan, give him a plug. He made that bar over there.
Oh, I know.
He's uber talented in everything he does. So big ups to our boy Nate. And just so many. Griff, too. We can't forget about Griff.
Oh, yeah.
Mike Griff, my drummer over there from Chokeslam. Much love to him as well. Another freaking monster. You've had all these monsters come across you.
It's very pleasing to see these guys stay with it and to keep learning. I was so impressed when I saw Nate on one of our beer and wine trains.
Follow the Muse?
Yeah, Follow the Muse. Did a fantastic job.
Awesome. What are some of the bands that play some of your trains? Local guys.
Think of the groups that play at Saranac Thursday.
A lot of those Showtime, Gridley Page.
Not Showtime, but Gridley Page. What they do is they do the pared down with the two of them, because we have basically, because of the room constraints, the band has got to be a trio or less. So some of the groups will leave one guy or two guys home and just come with a cut down version. So, but we've had Gridley Page, Follow the Muse, Old Main. Trying to think of who else. Sean Smith, Big Sexy, right?
I heard of him.
Yeah, he did it. They all do a fantastic job.
Yeah,
and we had A Strung Sideways. Trying to think of who else.
Another former student of yours.
Both.
Jimmy. Oh, and Bob too, huh?
My first or second year, Bob was in my class.
Really?
Yeah, and then I taught his kids.
Now you're dating yourself.
Oh, I know. And
I didn't know Bob was a Markham guy. That's super cool too.
Yeah, and his kids.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was kind of like your mom. You know, that said, if there's a problem, call me. Yeah. And of course, I never have to call.
And we just swept it under the rug, right?
That's right.
Yeah. Polar Express is live and active right now. Is there some room people could get in?
Yes.
If they wanted to get in?
Yes.
And do you know which dates are open?
I don't know specifically which dates are open. Mm-hmm. I know all of the Cocoa class or first class are sold out through the end. Usually Sundays, Thursdays, Wednesdays, there's openings for coach. And the thing to do is to go online to AdirondackRR.com or call 315-724-0700 and see what there is, talk party size and so on.
Very cool. I think what you guys are doing over there is great.
Oh, it's a lot of fun.
It sounds like it is. That sounds like it is, too. And if anybody's interested in volunteering, call that number. And
volunteers especially, because the volunteer roles go from not only the train crew, which requires extensive training and testing, to jobs that are very easy to do. Car hosts. We always need car hosts. As a car host, what you do is you help people get on and off the train. You know, you remind them to watch their step when you get on. You've seen the same kind of thing with workers at Amtrak. And then when we have crowded trains especially, then a car host is on the train saying, oh, there's seats this way, there's seats that way, fill into the back of this car, and so on. And those are the car host positions. During the train ride, the car host walks around, talks to people, answers questions. There's not a lot of training for that. We need volunteers in the office sometimes. Everything from stuffing envelopes from one thing or another to printing, going for this and that. So there's office volunteer work. Other volunteer work, it depends on what kind of background you have, but we do have volunteers that have helped in the mechanical area, people with that aptitude. We've had volunteers help with some of the track work that are certified machine operators and so on. We've had firms volunteer that way. Students, especially in the tourism programs at Mohawk Valley or Herkimer, come in, contact our office, get some experience in a working tourist railroad, and that's got to help.
And it sounds like it's a fun environment to work in as well.
Oh, yeah. And we've had interns from the mechanical programs at SUNY Poly. And it would be nice if any listeners are SUNY Poly mechanical students. Talk to your folks on campus, make a connection with Adirondack Rail, and see about doing an internship with us in the mechanical department. We have had, I know of 2 during my time that have been there from SUNY Poly, and they have gone on to high-end technical careers with Amtrak. So that's really amazing.
That sounds amazing. Very cool. Whoa, hang on. Let me mute that. This is what happens when you got stupid computer day and things just start going haywire over here. Technology. As much as we need technology, as much as I don't want technology.
I know. We've all been through it.
We're also wrapped up in our phones and our computers that, who knows. But can you give the website address again, too, for everybody
Certainly.
out there?
AdirondackRR.com. Mm-hmm. And you can book tickets online and buy your tickets and pay for them. Everything done right online, just as if you would do it over the phone. And the thing is, you will get, and this is, a lot of people miss this even though you get reminders, is you get a printout, which is a receipt for your ticket. It is not your ticket. To get your ticket, you need to go to the ticket window, and then you turn in your receipt, and you get these special golden tickets, just like in the Polar Express movie, to get you on the train, and then you get your regular ticket boarding passes as well. And that's how that works. So I always have to remind people, did you pick up your tickets? Because your receipt or the scan code on your phone does not get you on the train. You need to pick up your tickets, and of course, the golden ticket for Polar Express that the actor conductor can punch on the train, and then you can hang it on the Christmas tree as an ornament. And I forgot to mention that every child on the train gets the first gift of Christmas. They get a bell from Santa's sleigh, just like in the Polar Express book and movie.
Oh, cool. Oh, nice. I like how you keep it close to how the book and the movie is.
That's the whole idea.
That's the whole theme of it.
When these young high school students, when they become cast members, they get a certificate when they finish. And this is another thing. These people are volunteers. These cast members get a certificate that says they have a credit for working on a Warner Brothers production, because Polar Express is part of Rail Events, which is part of the Warner Brothers family. So they can be going to college with a Warner Brothers credit.
Wow. Very cool. Have you ever seen Festival Express?
Oh, the movie.
The movie, like...
Oh, man. The band. Gotta love the band.
The band, the dad, Janis Joplin.
Janis, oh, man. I love the scene with Rick Danko and Janis.
So what it was is back in 1970, the Dead and all these bands decided they toured Canada.
Yeah.
And they went from one end of Canada to the other on a train, and they would just stop, and then trucks would meet them so they can unload all their gear. And there was video footage of this that they found. This is maybe 15 years ago or something. The movie came out.
Yeah.
And they found some old footage, and they're like, we got to turn this into a documentary.
Yeah.
And they ended up making it into a documentary. It was so cool to see a lot of that old footage.
Oh,
this is something maybe we should collaborate on.
Oh, yeah.
Festival Express.
That was really something. And I don't know if you know, I'm a huge fan of the band. Mm-hmm. I mean, they're the guys, man. Levon was the man.
Oh, yeah, he was the man, for sure.
Did you ever get to see one of his midnight rambles at his place?
I've never been to his place. I'm dying to go. It's still active.
They still have it. Right.
As a matter of fact, today's Amy Helm's birthday.
Right, I saw that.
Happy birthday, Amy Helm. She's an amazing. Have you checked her out yet?
Oh, yeah.
She was super talent.
We were lucky enough to go to Levon's Midnight Rambles twice. Both times he was in good voice.
Oh, cool.
It was amazing to sit, 30 feet from his drum set, to slap hands with him as he walked back.
Did you fanboy out?
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah. Amy was there singing with him.
Was she?
And
Larry Campbell.
Yeah. I mean, those guys, it was the best. They were They were incredible.
Yeah, good stuff.
I mean, all the drummers, there were a bunch of us after one of the shows, a bunch of us that it turned out we realized we were all drummers, and we're all standing around outside, and we were like, didn't we just get a lesson? And it was like, oh yeah, we just got a lesson.
That's cool. You're nerding out.
Oh yeah.
I love it. That'd be something we should maybe collaborate on, maybe down the road, do a little Festival Express type of thing, kind of similar to what they're doing.
Yeah.
You stop at little depots and have a concert and then move on. And
Yeah.
I don't know. Just thinking out loud. Have another on-air meeting.
Yeah, definitely.
Nice. One more time, give the address and the phone numbers before we get out of here, and how people can get involved with Polar Express if they want to be a volunteer for the Adirondack Scenic Railroad.
Okay, the phone numbers is good for tickets and for volunteering, and this is a busy time, so please be patient. The phone number is 315-724-0700. The website is AdirondackRR.com. And yes, you can find out about volunteering on there too. There's a volunteer section on the website, as well as the tickets and the other trains and so on.
One question before we get out of here. If you were to go back in time, give yourself some advice, maybe 25 years ago, 30 years ago, what kind of advice would you give yourself?
Wow, that's a good one. I would just repeat more than I have to myself. 3 things that my grandfather told me when I first started to play drums, and I wasn't really old enough to understand what he meant. He played drums in Buffalo in the 1930s, and he said, keep good time, listen, and don't play too loud. And you can take those 3 things and put them into anything. It's not just music.
Everyday life.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I like it. Solid advice right there.
That's right.
Stay in time, right?
Yeah.
And
keep good time.
Don't be too loud.
Right. And listen.
And listen. That's the important thing. Listen. Yeah. Excellent advice. I like that. I'm going to keep that with me.
Oh, thanks for having me here.
Thanks for coming. It was good to catch up with you.
It certainly was.
Great to see you. We have such a busy day here on the D. I've got another podcast coming up at 3:00, and then also we're having the Uncle Louie Christmas party. That happens at 8:30 tonight, so that's going to be hysterical to say the least. And then also at 7:00 before the Uncle Louie Christmas party, we have 3 and Out, which is our football podcast with mygaragebar.com people coming in and talking their football smack, if you will. Pretty cool week in football this week. I don't really watch too much NFL, but I did see the Bills beat the Cowboys on Thanksgiving, so that was cool. Anytime the Cowboys lose is a great day in my world.
Right. Not only the Cowboys lose, but then to top it off, Buffalo to win, because I grew up just 5 miles from that stadium.
That's it, man. I'm sure you spent a lot of time in that stadium.
Not so much.
No?
But a lot of TV time, and when you're from Buffalo, you're always from Buffalo.
Yeah, right. And Buffalo's just a bigger Utica.
Yeah, it's a more Midwestern city than Utica.
Yeah.
It's flat.
It's flat, yeah, for sure. And believe it or not, they get more snow than we do.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, believe it or not. I don't know. I hope everybody out there in Facebook land and social media land is all thawed out from the snow. I finally am. We couldn't do the show yesterday. There was no parking on the street, and that's why you're here. And we did it a little bit earlier today because the no parking on the street, the snow emergency, and we were buried at my house. So finally out and about and thawed out. So
you bet.
The struggles of winter. Here they are. They are upon us. It's 2 days in already, and I'm already sick of this shit. Vince, great to catch up with you. Thanks so much for coming in. Anytime you want to come in, come hang out, please give me a call, and just love to catch up with you. So
thanks, E. It was a lot of fun.
Thank you. Also, much love to EJA Moving Services, the professional movers. When you're ready to move and relocate, hit them up at ejamoving.com or call them at 315-335-0516. Thank you to the Utica Hemp Company. If you're struggling with pain, see if CBD works for you. You can visit them at all 4 locations or visit them online at uticahemco.com. And then much love to Nye Volkswagen in Rome. Mention the D, $250 off a vehicle purchase. You can check out their inventory at nyvdubofrome.com. Coming up in a little bit, I got my old friend Dave Berman checking in with me. We're going to do some laugh yoga coming up in just a little bit, so stick around for that. And like I said, 3 and Out comes up at 7 o'clock, and then the Uncle Louie Variety Show Christmas Party is coming up, and they've got a bunch of people. Anthony Persciutti's coming in. He's a mentalist. He's crazy, too. Like, he can... crazy. He does a lot of card tricks and can tell you what you're thinking, and it's just weird. I don't know how he does it. And then also Tony Napoli coming in, Sam Vicario, great singer, is coming in as well. So we've got a bunch of things going on today at the D. You can follow along at disruptionnetwork.net or go over to our YouTube page, click subscribe, and follow everything that we're doing, like our Facebook page, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and I'll be back in just a little bit. So stick around for that and do some laugh yoga with Dave Berman. And Vince, one more time, thank you so much for coming in. This has been a lot of fun, and let's do it again.
It certainly has been.
Good luck with everything with the Polar Express and all that you're doing, man. And keep me in touch with your son too. I'd like to get him on this podcast one of these days.
Oh, I will.
Yeah, we should definitely get him on one of these days. All right, take care. We'll see you in a little bit. Later.
You know what the hell you're listening to? It's EC Radio.
So you just bought your dream home, and now it's time to move. Let's face it, nobody likes to move. All the packing, unpacking, lifting, upstairs, downstairs, and broking everything, including your back. Let the professionals at EJA Moving Company take all the stress and pain out of your move. Competitively priced moving, relocation services, office moves, and complete packing and unpacking services. They work with everybody to make it simple and easy for you to move and relocate. Call EJA Moving Company at 315-335-0516. When it's time to relocate, have EJA Moving do all the work for you. Hit them up online, ejamoving.com.
Hey, Disruption Network. This is Mike Sacco, the general manager at Nye Volkswagen of Rome. If you don't know me by name, it's only because you have not received the best deal. There's only one reason to leave Utica, and that's to come see me in Rome and get the best deal on your next new, pre-owned, or certified VW. Mention that you heard this ad from Disruption Network and receive $250 off your next vehicle purchase. You'll know why our customers say, I love my Nye VW. Come see us at 5865 Rome Taberg Road in Rome, or visit us online at nyvwofrome.com.
Want to know what's going on at the D? Hit up disruptionnetwork.net and check out our events calendar, brought to you by the Events Co. Find out about upcoming guests, special events, concerts, show schedules, community activities, and more. Get connected at disruptionnetwork.net.